Jess and welcome to our channel. Today's video is all about projects for decorating your front porch or your front door for fall and Halloween. So for these projects, I headed to my local Dollar Tree and found some items, and also used items that I found for free. And we used a little bit of Sally Tomato fabric and supplies to help make these projects, but they're all no-sew projects. So let's get right into it.
For this first project, we're going to be making a wreath. I was inspired by a wreath that I saw on Target. So head on over to the Dollar Tree and pick up a bunch of faux maple leaves. I was really excited when I found this 3D wreath form at the Dollar Tree because I was able to separate each of the wire frames and trim off the extra metal posts and have 4 wreath forms. I thought this was a great value for only $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. You'll also want to grab some floral tape while you're there, then head on home, find a box, poke each of the maple stems through the box, grab some copper spray paint, and spray paint the leaves. This worked out really well to coat the leaves from both sides and help it dry. After the paint is completely dry, you'll take a wire cutters and trim the stems so they're about 3 or 4 inches long. Then you'll tear off a piece of your floral tape and wrap the stem in place around the wreath form. Originally, I had thought it might be fun to add in a couple flowers here or there, but the paint didn't really stick to them well with all the layers of the petals. So I opted not to use the flowers for this project. So just continue all the way around adding leaves until your wreath form is completely full. When I was done, I tied a piece of twine to the top and hung this wreath on my front door. You could also use this wreath on a table around a centerpiece, such as a vase or a lantern, and I think it would be really pretty. I did end up using about 7 maple leaf stems, so the total cost with the spray paint and the tape was probably around $10 or $12, but compared to the inspiration piece that cost $39, I think this project was a success. The next project we're going to make is another wreath, also inspired by Target. So take another one of your wire wreath forms from the globe that we separated earlier. I grabbed another pack of faux pearl beads from the Dollar Tree, and unfortunately these don't have holes in them. If you have pearls that have holes in them, you can use some wire. And then you'll also need 4 colors of either cork fabric or faux leather for the petals. So I'm using a mix of cork fabric and faux leather from our website, and the petal shape is actually from my book, Create with Cork Fabric, using the small leaf template. So what I did was I created a template using cork fabric. I used that piece to place on the wrong side of my fabric, trace around, so it was really easy to trace around the thicker cork material, and then go ahead and cut out your leaves. So make sure that you use a fabric that does not fray, so a non-woven fabric such as cork, leather, Craftex, or any other fabric that doesn't fray. So I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to start. First, I decided to lay out the leaves and arrange them how I planned to attach them. So that gave me more of an idea of how many leaves that I needed. Next, I decided to spray paint the pearls. So I'm using Rust-Oleum Ultramatte black spray paint. I placed the pearls inside a bowl and then I sprayed them. After they completely dried, then I rolled the pearls over and sprayed the other side. So head outside, gather up a bunch of sticks or twigs, branches, and we're going to attach the branches to the wire frame first. At first, I thought I wanted to attach each of the leaves to the branches first, but I think it's easier to attach the branches, then you can arrange the leaves exactly where you want them. So take a piece of floral tape. I purchased my floral tape from the Dollar Tree, and there's a large amount on the spool so I can use it for multiple projects. And continue wrapping the branches around the wire frame. Once your wreath is completely wrapped in branches, now you can start hot gluing on each of the leaves. So make sure that you add a generous amount of glue and add some glue to the overlap of the fabric, and that'll just help make sure everything stays secure. So once you have about a quarter of the way full with leaves, then you'll switch colors, so each quarter of the wreath has a different color. You'll want to make sure to leave some of your branches bare because we're going to attach the pearl beads to those. Next, I took a permanent marker and drew some veins on the leaves. I just did a few here and there on each color. I didn't do every single leaf. If you would prefer not to use permanent marker, you could stitch the veins on before you attach the leaves if you want to use your sewing machine. This was just quick and easy for me. Next, as I mentioned, we'll glue on the pearls. Again, if you have pearls that have a hole through the center and you want to use the wire, then you can simply feed the wire through the pearl and then wrap it around your wreath form. Add as many or as little pearls as you like. I just love the contrast and the extra detail that this step adds. And here's how the wreath turned out. I absolutely love it. I am always drawn to neutrals with pops of color, so this is perfect for me and my style. You could certainly switch out the colors to something that works for you and your home. So if wreaths aren't for you and you prefer front door signs, I encourage you to check out my previous video on bat decor using our free template and pre-cut bat pieces to make a bat sign. I love how this turned out. It's more for Halloween, but you could certainly customize the saying or the phrase that you put on the sign. I've been seeing lanterns everywhere for home decorating and even for your porch. So this project is more for indoor use, but you could certainly use it outside if your porch is covered. So you're gonna need some frames from the Dollar Tree. You'll need 4 5x7 frames. I found these heart frames. You'll wanna choose a frame that is the same width, so at least the 5 inches, a little bit more preferred, but you'll want it a little bit wider than your picture frames. And then I also have this small frame. I wanted something big enough to cover up the heart shape since that wasn't the look that I was going for. So remove all the plastic, remove all the backing and any glass. I try to save as much as possible, so I'm saving all of the backings, all of the glass, the pegs from the heart frames, and I'm gonna see if I can use them all for another project. If you don't plan to add the glass to your lantern, then I also recommend taking a pliers and carefully removing those metal tabs that hold the back in place. And the next step is spray paint. So you'll want everything to look the same. I'm using Rust-Oleum Ultra Matte in black for mine. But you could certainly do white, or a pop of color would be fun. So let's head outside and spray paint. So after spray painting, I wasn't quite happy with how the top piece for my lantern turned out. So I took some scraps of our faux leather from our website and I added a generous amount of hot glue to each side of that wooden insert and glued one piece of fabric to each side. So if you're going to add the glass back into your lantern, now is the time to do so. Then take one frame with the wrong side up and add glue along one of the height edges. Then take another frame and position the outer side edge along the glued inside edge of the frame. So I know this is a little difficult to see, but we're going to add another frame to the opposite height edge. So I'm going to add a line of glue along the wrong side of another frame and adhere it to the outside edge of the already attached frame. So the frame pieces are going to be a little staggered and intertwined between each other. So now I'm going to turn the frames over, add some glue along the inside height of the one against the work table. Then take the remaining frame and glue that outer side edge to the frame on the work table. And then glue the last side together. You'll see how they'll line up. Next, we're gonna add the top and bottom pieces. So those wooden frames with the hearts. I added glue all the way around the outside edge. Placed it on top of the lantern and held it tight until the glue cooled. And then repeat for the bottom panel. And next we're going to add the top piece to the lantern to give that layered look. So I added glue around the outer edge of that frame on the wrong side and then placed it on top. If you wanted to take this a step further, you could certainly decorate it more. You could add some spray painted pearl beads along the top edge for some extra detail. You could add a handle to the top. All sorts of options to customize it and make it as detailed or as simplistic as you'd like. I did decide to cut another piece of faux leather, so that way it covered up the heart shape, but I left an opening so that way it was still accessible if you had the glass in the frames. So that way if you wanted to add a candle inside or a pumpkin, then you'd have that opening to insert things in through the bottom. The Dollar Tree had these cute berry garlands, and I also picked up a flameless LED candle from the thrift store for $1.99. With kids, I always go for the battery operated candles. They're a lot safer and it brings some coziness into the home at night if they have a timer and then they go on automatically. I just love the feeling and the warmness that candles bring to the home. So this lantern could be styled on an entry table, on your dining table. You could certainly take the copper wreath that we made earlier and place it on top for a really fun centerpiece, all made with the Dollar Tree. I did also style this lantern on my front porch and I think it turned out really cute. After this DIY, I did look online and I found on Pottery Barn how much that these lanterns are going for, anywhere from $50 to $179 or more per lantern. So with all the supplies considered, from paint, fabric, the thrifted candle, I would say there is about $14 of supplies into this lantern. I think I'm going to be making a few more of these, testing different sizes, different colors. It's going to be so fun to style for the holidays. This DIY was a success. And finally, as a bonus, I wanted to show you how I styled this corner on my front porch. First, I found this tall wicker planter on the side of the road for free, and kid you not, the next week I saw a planter similar at Marshall's for $60. I always save styrofoam scraps from when I order something online, so I'm using those as a little bit of filler and stability in the base of the planter. You can certainly find lots of gorgeous fall florals at the Dollar Tree, but I wanted something fuller, and by the time I bought multiple stems at the Dollar Tree, it was better for me to go to Hobby Lobby, purchase some stems half off, because they always have sales, and get something a little bit more realistic looking that will last. So these stems I ended up getting for $4 each. Next, I found a little wooden stool at the thrift store. I added the mums that my mom got me. I do not have a green thumb yet, unfortunately, so I need to work on reviving these. But I did add some of those bones that were left over from my skeleton terrarium in my last video to the planter. I thought they looked super cute this way. And there was also a set of skeleton hands at the Dollar Tree, and I thought those would look super cute poking out from the leaves and between the flowers. Next, I brought in the wooden lantern. I'm so excited about this DIY. I did place a candle and the little garland around it just for a little bit of decor. I don't have any batteries in this, but you could certainly get an outdoor candle to put inside the lantern so it could light up at night. Next, I added some small pumpkins that we got at the farmer's market. I also found this solar-powered skull at the Dollar Tree. I thought it was super cute, and the boys think it's fun when it lights up at night. So here's how it turned out. I think it looks so pretty. I've never had a porch to decorate before, so this was so fun for me. Ignore my dying flowers, or maybe they just add to the Halloween aesthetic. Any tips on keeping mums alive? Let me know in the comments. I hope that this tutorial inspires you to add a little bit of seasonal decor to your home.
Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please comment below. Let us know which project was your favorite, and give this video a thumbs up. Also, we'd love for you to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on future videos. I'll see you next time.